Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. We are taking a peek at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap a very boring day in the WNBA. On the day, we go 3-3, bringing our season record to 59-61. So we go 2-0 on the spreads, 0-2 on the overs, because honestly, all four teams really wasn't impressed with anyone today based on how they played. Then we split the player props, hitting Alicia Gray, missing on Kelsey Mitchell. So I'm going to recap these a little bit more in depth real quick. Then we'll get onto the 3 games and 2 player props for tomorrow. So game 1, it was the Atlanta Dream hosting the Indiana Fever. Most important thing to note here, Caitlin Clark obviously did not play. The Fever, they suck without Caitlin Clark. Everyone on this team had a bad day. Actually, Natasha Howard played okay. She had a double-double, 6 of 9 from the field. Then you have Lexi Hall, 0 of 5. Aaliyah Boston, 3 of 9. Colson, 1 of 4. Then our girl, we'll jump down to Kelsey Mitchell in a minute here, 5 of 16 from the field with 1 rebound. Cool, thank you. The Fever overall from the field, 36% from the field, 21% from deep, 61% from the free throw line. The Dream, 47% from the field, 23% from deep. Combined, these two teams went 10 of 46 from beyond the line. They shot at 63% from the free throw line. This was not a good basketball game at all, in the slightest. But Fever lose, Dream win 77-58. This Fever team is very bad without Caitlin. Next game, this got way closer than it had to be. We were a 1 3-pointer away from not covering this because the Liberty bench came on in the fourth quarter and got absolutely gobsmacked. Liberty, 85, Chicago score 66. The halftime score was 52-30. Then after 3 quarters, the score was 70-42. Final score 85-66. Chicago wins the final quarter 24-15. This Liberty team, I honestly, again, was not really that impressed with them. You had to rely on Stewie going 8 of 14 and then Sabrina going 9 of 14. This team without Jonquel Jones is not nearly as good. Their bench players, I think they got way too many minutes. Their bench, like deep down, went 1 of 12. Johannes Harrison and Sherrod. This is a rookie, right? Where are you out of? Yeah, rookie from Colorado. They went 1 of 12 combined. So their bench almost single-handedly threw this game. I was getting nervous, but spread hit, so it was okay. Now we go to our losers. We obviously lost both overs. I already described to you the poor shooting in the Fever and the Dream game. 22% from deep, 63% from the free throw line. You are never going to hit an over with those numbers. We ended the over 167.5 in the Liberty Sky game. The Sky in their last 2 games, actually, let's just take a look at what they've scored this entire season. 66, 52. They played 2 games against the Wings, so it doesn't count. Okay, so without Courtney Vandersloot, they've scored 52 and 66. This team is screwed. I mean, today you had Angel Reese score 17 points on 8 of 13 from the field. That's not going to happen again for a long time, and you still only scored 66 points. Rachel Banham, 1 of 6. Off the bench with Elizabeth Williams, 2 of 7 as a center. Van Liff off the bench, 1 of 5. Like, this team just can't do anything. Rebecca Allen, 20 minutes played, 0 points. 0 of 3 from the field with 2 turnovers. Like, what are we doing? This team is awful. They're on the ban list for a reason. Good riddance. And then we had Kelsey Mitchell, points and rebounds over 21.5. This was no bueno. She shot the ball 16 times. She was the only player on the Fever to shoot it double digits. But she only went 5 of 16. She finished with 11 points and 1 rebound. She went 0 of 5 from deep. Didn't have any turnovers. She just could not put ball in hoop. So that's the recap. Let's get on to tomorrow. All right, game number 1, it is 100% the game of the day. Lynx and the Storm. I'm going to take the Storm at home plus 4.5. Also going to rock the under 155.5. These two teams played just 2 weeks ago. The Storm lost in Minnesota by 5 points. Should be another tight game at home here. Neither of these teams play very quick. Neither of them shoot the ball very well, or I should say that often from deep. But the previous game landed on 159 points, with both teams shooting 45% from the field and them only having 25 turnovers. I don't think we're going to see that well of field goal percentage, and I think we're going to see more turnovers here. Something about playing in Seattle, which just normally brings about ugly basketball games. So I think we're going to see a little bit of that. Lynx, they're 9-0 on the year, one of two undefeated teams, coming off of a road win, beating the Lynx. They beat themselves. I think I meant to type in the Wings by 16 points. They really haven't been that solid this year, though. I just haven't been impressed with them. They're 9-0, but they haven't done anything. They beat the Wings by 16, the Mercury by 20, the Valkyries by 11, the Mercury again by 3, the Storm by 5, the Sun by 6, the Wings by 4. They're not blowing teams out of the water like the Liberty are. Yes, their defense is solid, but they play at the slowest pace in the WNBA. They are 7th overall in rebounding. They're a good team, but they are due a loss. Is this their hardest road game they've played so far? Yes, by far and away, this is their hardest road game they've played so far. This is their second in a back-to-back road game situation. They played at Dallas on Sunday. They then probably flew straight to Seattle to play on Wednesday. They're due a loss. I think they get it here. I do not think they start the season 10-0. Storm are good. Storm 5-4 on the year. They have won back-to-back games against the Wings and the Mercury by 6 and 12 points. They average 81 points a game. They also played a slow pace. It is the 8th slowest in the WNBA. Shoot at 38% from deep. That's probably going to come down a little bit. These are two of the better defenses. I'm seeing a low-scoring, slow game. Give me the Storm. Give me the under. Next game. These two teams have cost me more money than you would probably think in the past couple of weeks, but I have to bet the game, seeing as though they play each other. I'm going to take the Aces, just because what I saw the Sparks do against the Valkyries, 2 nights ago, was simply just mind-boggling. Sparks 3-7 on the year, despite having a good roster. You have Plum, Hamby, Rakia Jackson, you have Odyssey Sims, Azrae Stevens. How are you 3-7? Yes, you don't have Brink, so your defense is going to be bad, but god damn. They can't rebound. They turn it over 14 times a game, which is 9th in the W. They play absolutely zero defense. Literally none. Kelsey Plum doesn't play any. Hamby's not playing any. Azrae Stevens isn't quick enough to play defense. And then Odyssey Sims is old as shit. So no one's playing defense on this team. They played this Aces team in Las Vegas just, I think, 2 weeks ago, and they lost that game 96-81. I think we are going to see basically the same thing. The Aces 4-3 on the year. They're also coming off of a horrible loss to the Valkyries. So both of these teams are off of getting their asses smacked by Natalie Nakase. Now, granted, the Aces was by 27 points, which I didn't think was humanly possible, but it happened. They haven't been playing good basketball, but they've already proven they can beat this team. They're at home. It's Kelsey Plum Revenge Game version 2. I think they're going to lay belt to ass again. Give me the Aces. Give me the over. Roll Las Vegas. All right, so we're looking at the final game now, and then we got 2 player props. Normally, let me put it this way. 1 week ago, I would have said this game is horrible, but we are getting 2 superstars back in this game. So I'm going to take the home team with the Mercury minus the 6.5 and the over 167.5. We get the return of Paige Beckers, and we get the return of Alyssa Thomas. 2 probably the best players on both their teams. We're going to be seeing what the Mercury look back almost at full strength. They're still without Kalia Copper, so you don't really know. But the Wings, I don't think Paige is going to make that much of a difference. This team is shit. They're 1-9 on the year. Their only win was on the road against the Sun, where they scored 110 points. They don't play any defense. They shoot it 31% from deep. They're not very good on the boards. They are now missing Tarika McCowan because she's overseas playing in the Euro Cup basketball. They're also missing their backup center, whose name is like Destlinger, or I forget his last name. But she's off the team right now because she went back overseas to play for her country. They don't have any size down low. This Mercury team is going to shit on them. This is not going to be ugly. Mercury 6-4 in the year, coming off of a rough 12-point home loss to the Storm. But they do get AT back, who is by far and away the best player on this team. She'll be able to run the offense. Satu Sabli can not do everything on this team now. She can just go back to being a 3-and-D player. They're going to be probably dropping 90 plus. The Wings don't play defense. So Mercury, give me them winning this game 98-79. Yep, sounds good to me. Now we got 2 player props. We are going with Chelsea Gray for player prop number 1. Points and rebounds over 16.5. I was shocked this number was this low. Also, a comment on the last video asked, where do I find these? 90% of the time, I get these off of FanDuel. If they're not on FanDuel, I will let you know where I find them. But again, 90% of the time, FanDuel. Gray, she's really been one of 2 consistent players for the Aces this season. It's been her and Asia Wilson with scattered bits of Jackie Young and Jewel Lloyd. The Sparks team they're going up against plays 0 defense. They also play very up-tempo. So lots of shots and lots of rebounds. Chelsea Gray has hit this 16.5 number in 4 out of her last 6 games. And she gets to go up against her old teammate in Kelsey Plum. She should be able to lay belt to ass because Kelsey ain't playing no defense. Next game, Gabby Williams. I'm taking her over points and assists at 18.5. Gabby's been on fire in her last few games, hitting this number of 18.5 in 4 out of her last 5. She is shooting it 49% from deep. That is ridiculous. Basically a 50% clip. On top of that, she's averaging 4 assists per game. She has had double-digit shot attempts in each of her last 5 games. 18.5 is simply too low of a number here. She could easily go for 3 or 4 3-pointers in a game. You toss in her 4 assists, add a few trips to the free throw line, and we're hitting the 18.5. So I will take Gabby Williams points and assists over 18.5. Okay, that is going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.